Alright, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to start some of the fuel line stuff. I actually am going to take the stock fuel pump hanger off and bring it to work because I have the whole JB Tune kit to replace your entire fuel pump wiring harness. This bulkhead right here, you need to drill a hole in your stock fuel pump hanger and put this in the top of the fuel pump hanger, and this goes right to the stock fuel feed line. It's like the factory push connect fitting, and it's got a -6 AN fitting on the end of it, so then you can run -6 line. So I'll explain more of that once I get it all out, but I'm gonna take the fuel pump hanger out so I can bring it to work and cut the brackets off that I don't need and drill the hole for this bulkhead. Alright, so if you don't know where the fuel pump is on these cars, it's under the middle of the back seat, so you just got to pull the back seat out. Alright, so it's right under this, so let me take the bolts out of this. So you got to take this cover off. It's just 3 Phillips screws, so I'm going to rip it off quick. Just going to unplug it. Out of the way. So I need to grab this push connect fitting right here for the stock feed line, and it might drip a little bit of gas. Okay, it's gonna drip a lot of bit of gas. Hold on, let me get a pliers to take the other line off. Gotta get a pair of pliers and pull this clamp off. Maybe I need bigger pliers for this. Never mind, I got it. Now this line's probably never been off, so it might rip. Actually, no, I got it without ripping it. Alright, so that's the stock return line. I got that off. So then all you gotta do is take out these, I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 10mm bolts. Alright, so we're back in my house because I gotta take this to work tomorrow so I could cut the stock return line off, and I gotta break this off too because we're not gonna use any of this wiring either. So the only thing we're keeping is the stock fuel feed line, because like I showed you before in the JB Tune kit that I have, you use the stock fuel feed line as your return now. So we're getting rid of this return and we're getting rid of this plug. And we're gonna drill our hole for our wiring right about over here. So I'm gonna start, show you guys quick how to disassemble the whole fuel pump. So to start with, there's a little clip inside here that I already took out to get the fuel filter, the stock fuel filter off, and this actually already has a Walbro fuel pump in it. I don't know if it's a 255, it probably is, because that's like what everybody puts in for like a small aftermarket fuel pump. So anyway, I'm gonna assume it's a 255, but you gotta unplug the fuel pump, take the sock off the bottom, then we could pull the fuel pump off, pull the wiring out of the way. I'm gonna pull this line off. I already took the clamps off of this before I started filming, so there was clamps on here. Come on. Alright, don't need any of that. And you gotta unclip this and take off the stock power wire. So we got that. Let me take this clip off of here. Can't get in there. There it is. Alright, so that. Then we got the ground wire. There it is. Tomorrow at work, I'm gonna cut this off flat right here. And I'm gonna break this off and figure out where I'm gonna drill my hole. I might drill a hole right here for the wiring. and I'm gonna see if my fuel pump will fit on here or if I have to modify this at all, because I have the Walbro 525 Hellcat fuel pump. So I'm pretty sure it'll fit on there without having to cut anything. But I'll see you guys after work tomorrow after I cut all this up and get it all to fit. I'm not gonna be able to film any of it because I'll be doing it at work on my lunch break and stuff. So I will catch up with you guys as soon as I get home. I'll insert a link in the description below for where I bought all this stuff from. That's a -6 AN bung for me to put a -6 line from my fuel pressure regulator all the way back here, and that'll just dump down right there back into the gas tank. So that I had to drill a hole. If you have a Civic, it's probably going to be a little bit easier because the Integra one is super small. Like, see how where the gasket is? I didn't have much room to drill these two big holes, so I put one way in the middle. I put this one way in the middle under here because I didn't have much room at all to put all these. They got plastic washers and everything, so they're not gonna leak. They're like airtight and fuel tight so that nothing will leak. And they comes with this plastic fuel line, which is real long, and you can't cut it because it's got these ribs in it, like a bendy straw. So you kind of either got to loop it around like that, or what I'm gonna do is I have the stock feed line from the filter on the firewall, and I'm gonna cut it and I'm gonna use this hose. So I'm gonna cut this and I'm gonna remake this white hose with this, and I'm gonna see if I could get it to fit a lot cleaner and not have to loop around like that. And I got the fuel sock and everything on, and everything's all basically done. So I'm gonna throw this in the car and we're basically gonna be done with the fuel pump, and then we're gonna start running the fuel line and putting an inline filter in. We're gonna have to try to figure out some way to keep it all P-clamped up underneath the car, because I don't really want to just self-tap it into the bottom of the car, because I've seen a lot of people just self-tap some P-clamps into the bottom of the chassis, and I really don't want a bunch of self-tap screws in the bottom of the car. I want to try to do it really clean. So let me throw this back in the tank, and I'll see you guys once we get this in there. So I put this thing back in, and right here you can see that the wire slides inside this a little bit, so I'm gonna pull it and give it a little bit of slack and then crank this top nut down. And what that's gonna do, it's gonna pinch the wires right here inside that white rubber seal, and it's gonna make it where the wires don't slide, and it's gonna be pretty much watertight.